Oh, hello. And, well, by immensely popular demand, we are here in the Napoleonic Total War 3 mod for Napoleon Total War. And in our faction vote, it seemed like everybody wished to view a Great Britain campaign. And I must say, I do have to agree. Unbiased opinion, of course, absolutely. I think Britain is the best faction in the game. Excuse me here. I'm already getting all choked up about it. Oh, the tune. Listen to the tune. Oh, brilliant. Heart of oak indeed. That's when you know the Royal Navy is bearing down upon you. We're going to be playing the historical campaign. Oh, I just love that tune. Ah, wonderful. Capture and hold 9 regions, including Hanover, Catalonia, Navarra, Balearic Isles, Ireland, Gibraltar, Scotland, England, and Wales. Complete by the end of the turn in late December 1812. So we begin in 1805, and Great Britain is a constitutional monarchy ruled by King George III from 1760 until 1820, a nation of free trade and personal liberty. Its people are seemingly devoted to making money and disliking foreigners in equal measure. Foreigners are, quite simply, just not very good at anything, be that running an empire or making a decent pie. Britons make no secret of their prejudice, a crass attitude that makes diplomacy difficult. The English, as much to the annoyance of the Scots, everyone calls them, are disliked in every court in Europe for this arrogance and their willingness to let everyone else do all the fighting and dying against the French. Well, it stops here. The buck stops here. 'Cause guess what? Welly Boy, the grand old Duke of Wellington, is going to be taking to the field. And we're going to be tangling with some frogs. So let's go ahead and set the campaign difficulty to normal and battle to normal, because I do not absolutely hate myself. And we're going to go ahead and start the game.
Napoleon and his godless revolutionaries have no respect for the status quo.
I quite agree.
They insist on meddling with the balance of power on mainland Europe.
Disgusting.
Defenseless Liguria has been annexed by France.
Unacceptable.
Such behavior cannot be tolerated.
I agree.
As a result, Great Britain has joined forces with Austria and Russia
Oops.
to oppose French continental ambitions. Sweden, Portugal, and the smaller Italian states have vowed to aid the struggle.
Not sure how helpful they'll be.
Powers must take most of the strain in opposing this monstrous revolutionary threat.
There's the ogre.
Whilst Austria and Russia attempt to deal with Napoleon on the fields of Bavaria,
Good for them.
you must ensure that his navy is kept in check.
Nelson.
Admiral Villeneuve's fleet must be intercepted by the Royal Navy.
Oh,
lest
it
the
shall.
armies of France march on British shores. Then,
You don't
ensure
doubt us.
blockades are maintained across all French ports.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, your long-standing ally Portugal must be aided
Portugal.
in pushing through into
Hee-hee.
occupied Spain, opening a second front and splitting the might of Napoleon's armies.
The Portuguese. I agree. Let's take a look at the state of affairs in this godforsaken world. As we can tell, we've got the beautiful little rock of Gibraltar down here. It's our wonderful pet rock. I like Gibraltar. And it's currently garrisoned by the 1st Battalion of the 42nd Foot, the Black Watch. All these guys are absolute monsters, and we love them. Well, we're absolutely going to want to hold on to Gibraltar. However, it might get a bit dicey down there, depending how things go, because one of my first targets is Amsterdam, the Batavian Republic, the fake Dutch. Because you see, we have this little thing where we liberate other countries as the English, because the English have only liberated people for the entirety of, common history. So we're going to go and march into Amsterdam and free their people from a belligerent republic And to start things off, we have George Elphinstone and his little ship here, his 74-gun ship of the line and a 38-gun British fifth rate, the HMS Arethusa and the HMS Elephant. Well, we're going to take the saucy Arethusa and toss it into Rotterdam. What they got in there? Crackpot stuff? Ah, yucky. Netherlands Veteran Line Infantry. Sounds scary. Well, let's go to Antwerp. Have a party. I do like a nice little gathering. William Cornwallis with HMS Triumph and Juno. He's going to go touch the breast. And go down to Nantes as well. Francois. No. We do not deal with that. Over here we have Joss Hathaway, a real English name, and he's going to do us some technological research. What can we get that would be beneficial to my sanity? Division of labor, look at that, plus 3% to wealth generated by all buildings. I love the sound of it. And the land drainage, plus 10% wealth generated by farms. Oh, and the minus 3% upkeep cost to the Navy and bottling and canning. I dare say they're all rather appealing. But over here, we have something called national debt. And it gives us minus 2% upkeep costs to all the army units and plus 5% to town wealth in all your regions. So it is a fantastic boost to the economic situation. And we're going to go for national debt to start things off. Here's Welly. There he is. Arthur Wellesley, the Duke of Wellington. An Irish-born commander of the British Army during the Napoleonic Wars, and later Prime Minister of Great Britain from 1828 to 1830. He first rose to prominence in India, won many successes in the Peninsular War in Spain, 1808 to 1814, and shared in the victory over Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. He is our go-to guy. Now, we're going to be saving him, and why I say this is I want to save Wellesley and use him up here against the Dutch and against the French, because we do have a couple other commanders. We've got here Henry Paget, the Earl of Uxbridge, Field Marshal Henry William Paget, first Marquess of Anglesey, I believe that's how you say that, styled Lord Paget between 1784 and 1812, and known as the Earl of Uxbridge between 1812 and 1815, was a British Army officer and politician. He was a cavalry commander, very notably. We also have Sir John Moore here. He's recognized by friends and enemies as a gifted general. Moore's distinguished career came to a premature end at La Coruna in Spain in 1809 at the age of 47. Yes, unfortunate. Got popped off in the battle there. Over here we have the 87th Foot, the Prince of Wales' own Irish. And no. How many of you know Arthur Wellesley is Irish? He's actually Irish. The entire folklore hero of the British Isles is an Irishman. He saved the Empire. We're going to bring these troops down to Portsmouth, and we're going to bring Wellington's troops down here too. Now in his force, he's got the Life Guards, the 15th, the King's Hussars, a 6-pounder horse battery, the 1st Foot Guards, 1st Foot Royal Scots, 2 veteran regiments of foot, and a regular regiment of foot. Now over here we've also got the 2nd Dragoons of the Scots Greys, very elite, very saucy cavalry, very well known for their charge at the Battle of Waterloo, which unfortunately got stuck in the back by some Lancers. But we don't talk about that. We're going to put them with Wellington, as well as the 12-pounder gun, 2nd Foot Guards, the Coldstreams, and this veteran regiment of foot. So that leaves Mr. Paget all alone in London. He can find a mistress or something, I'm sure. Up here in Edinburgh, we also have the Dragoon Guards, which we're going to bring down to Portsmouth as well, and a 6-pounder foot battery. That gives us 3 artillery pieces to work with at the start, and I think that is absolutely fine. I don't see any need for any more. We've also got over here the 33rd Foot, the 1st Yorkshire West Riding, which actually was the Duke of Wellington's regiment, so to speak, as he grew through the ranks as an officer in the 33rd, especially in India. Oh dear. And then we got the 95th Rifles, the Grasshopper. Now this, because we are indeed a fan, we're going to be calling them Sharp's Rifles. And because we love the series so greatly, we've got this regiment of foot over here, and we're going to call them the South Essex Regiment, with Sir Henry Simerson, Mr. Simerson. We don't like that man. He is a very big horse's ass. Over here we've got Horatio Nelson. He's going to go vacationing in La Corona. And they don't have enough booze at the bar, so he's fed up and he can't stand it anymore. So he's going to go raid the trade route, because no doubt the Spanish merchants have more than the bloody barmen do. And this is very good for us, because it'll actually, hopefully, entice the French to come up. If they don't, oh well. But over here we're going to recruit some stuff. Let's get some of the Expeditionary Regiment of Foot. Try and bolster our garrison in Gibraltar. And it also needs a general. So who do we got? These are some very famous commanders. Rowland Hill. Also got Daddy Hill. His great affection by his men. Lowry Cole. He's got some nice medals there. And Robert Ross. Now Robert Ross, he also came over as a commander in the North American theater for the War of 1812. So he actually has the most command stars. Ooh, and +4 to morale. Oh, I do think so. He's a bit more pricey, but it's worth it. It is worth it indeed. So let's go ahead and label his bits Robert Ross. The Big Ross. From here, we are also, before I forget, going to come over here and lower the taxes a bit to encourage growth in our towns, so that people aren't starving to death. Our cabinet is preset, and it's actually pretty great. We got William Pitt as our Prime Minister. However, he does give us a -2 happiness, which is not that great, but it's not harming us right now. William Huskisson, he's fantastic for the Treasury. And look at Mr. Scott's wig. An absolute menace to society. Robert Stewart, the Viscount Castlereagh, he is our tactician. And in the Navy, we've got Charles Middleton, the 1st Baron Barham. Any relation to the Princess of Wales, perhaps? Catherine Middleton? I don't know. Maybe. Look at that. Family history. I don't know. It could be. A lot of names going around. Next, what we're going to do is absolutely focus on the infrastructure, because the basic roads are only £100, and why not? It is essential for transportation. Also, something that we want to do right off the bat is, in our ports, like these commercial ports, we can recruit one in each of these Port Defense Royal Artillery batteries. Now, these are things that don't really have any movement points, so they can't set sail, they can't move on land, really. They're simply a very cheap way, 86 pounds, to defend your port and prevent enemy raids. So I think that is a brilliant addition that NTW3 has, and I'm going to most certainly use it. Put them in here in Chatham, and over in Waterford, and there we go. That is us solidified and spec'd. So up here, We also want to recruit some merchantmen, which are our trade ships. They do exist in this mod. However, we are rather limited on them, so we've now finished recruiting the absolute majority that we can get so far. So let's see. We also want to capture this trade node to Baltimore. This one is, ooh, 666. This one has more tobacco. So let us send this Indiaman to Baltimore. There we go. That's done pretty good. Right, I believe that is very acceptable. Now, in terms of the diplomatic field, we can trade with a couple people. And I think, yes, Sicily, Kingdom of Sicily. They're allied with the Kingdom of Naples. We're going to try to trade with them. Ah, they like it. Very good. Kingdom of Sardinia. I do believe that is another trade ability. And, you know what? Maybe Mecklenburg might be safer. Just because it's closer to us instead of having to go all the way through the Med. But there we go, there's that. And I do try to like to poach Prussia at the start of it to join our side. So let's see if we, oh wow, okay, public schooling. How about we do that? And I give you military access. And I will pay you 2,000 gold. They rejected it. Okay, let's try this again. Let's switch it up a bit, though. Let's give them the technology and not request it. And we'll offer them 1,000. Unacceptable. Oh, very interesting. It's not very often that that happens. Well, you know, life is fun. But there we go, those are things. Alright, what should we do now? Ports. Ports are a good thing to focus on. We do have quite a bit to spend. We got 10,000 in the bucket. So let's dip into it. Let's get the Mercantile Trading Company and the Commercial Port. Commercial Port here. We don't need the stockyard down here. Let's make it a trading port. I guess you know what? Yeah. Let's build that dockyard up there in Glasgow. We might need it for some ships. Ooh, what can we get here? A Court of Appeals? That would be quite handy, wouldn't it? Ordnance Board, not really necessary at the moment. Ooh, Nelson's Column. Oh, wow. You know what? Nelson's Column. Because you're not British unless you do it, so do it. We've also got our wonderful spy who has the most incredible name I've ever seen for a spy. Percival Slaughter. Yeah, Mr. Slaughter. I can't guess what he does in his spare time. You know, it's really not apparent what he might be up to, but I think he does something to do with crocheting. I don't know. A lot of blood involved. So, I think we're good here. We can't recruit anything now. We've done all our stuff. Let's go ahead and pop into the next turn, see what happens. Well, what have we got here? The Confederation of the Rhine. Although nominally independent states, the German lands along the eastern banks of the River Rhine are but mere pawns of the so-called Republic of France. Their lords bend the knee to the Grand Emperor and kiss his boots like any other of his lackeys. Filthy people. That's how you spread COVID. There's no time for diplomatic bean counting. In this great war you stand either with us or against us, and they have chosen. We must, in all respects, regard these territories as French possessions. Absolute filth. John Thomas Jones is available. And war between the Ottomans and Austrians to be expected. And our ports are now protected. And all our roads are built. Fantastic stuff. And now we can go ahead and continue merging our glorious armed forces down here. Now the reason I've sent these down one by one is Some of them have more movement range than others. Like cavalry definitely has more than artillery, so I have opted for sending them one by one so that they get there a bit faster, because the artillery will take the longer amount of time. So as long as the cavalry and infantry get down there pretty quick, that's quite all right. Got the 87th coming over now. Wonderful stuff. Think that is that. How are we doing down here? We need to build the drill school down in Gibraltar. What else should we get? I think we can continue working on some cobbled roads. Are we still able to recruit some troops? We are able to get some fencibles. And I'm going to do that simply because I need to put some fencibles in Portsmouth and then up in Glasgow. Because those do not have coastal battery defenses. Other than that, that's what that reasoning is. Oh, I see their fleets have disappeared. Let's go back to La Corona. There he is. And he's got the Dutch. He has got the Dutch with him. Let's go back up to Brest with Cornwallis. He can feel around a bit. And then we'll take the Elephant. Okay, they're not building anything at Calais or Le Havre. I do find it rather annoying that they like to do this. The French and the Dutch fleet like to join each other. So let's go ahead and bring Nelson further up here. And I think we'll also go ahead, merge those two fleets. Now the sad thing is over here, I don't think they'll be able to reinforce. But that's alright for the moment. Alright, let's go ahead and see what happens with this navy situation here. Maybe they'll run away. So how are things looking? Construction of our trading port. Ah, we did. We sent them back. Ha ha ha. Italy got destroyed. Who is it? Oh, Austria advanced. Very spiffy stuff. Let's continue merging these troops. We're very nearly done it. Just got Merryweather. Just start making his merry way down. What else have we got over here? Oh, Portuguese fleet. Okay, looks like the Dutch one has disappeared. Although I am in the mood for hunting, I also know they pushed us out of the port here. Oh, they're starting to build Calais. Let's stop that. Alright, Brest. Then let's go see. There should be there's a Spanish trade fleet there. Let's go get rid of that. What else have we got going on? I think... Oh yes, we have these. Let's bring our trade ships up under Horace. And we've got this building here in Cork. I believe the manufacturer, yes, it's a plus 100 of region wealth. But the gunsmith, 100 region wealth, but it's also -3 upkeep for infantry and stuff. And there's the time for the episode. But we'll keep going for the turn. Yes, so let's go ahead and do the gunsmith there. I think that's pretty beneficial. Same thing over here. We've got the musket manufactory. But let's go for the merchant house at the moment. I think we can also recruit some stuff down here now. Yes. Regiment of Foot Expeditionary. Let's get some more of them. Oh, yes. And commercial port. Let's put one of you in there so that, you know, frogs don't start busting up the port in Gibraltar. That would be very unfortunate. Wellington is nearly ready to go on his Dutch expedition. And that was the other thing. I need a fencible up in Scotland. They take 2 turns? Yeah, they do take 2 turns. Oh, well, that's fun. I think we also should start working on making more ships too. That's always handy. Let's go for the musket manufactory in Birmingham then. Sounds good. Right, let's end the turn and see where we go. Well, I just had a sip of my wonderful orange pop. Fencibles are here. So they're going to go now, well, they're going to sit outside of Portsmouth and wait for Wellington to leave, and then they'll slip in and take over. They'll garrison it. And what do we got up here? We're going to split you. I know what I can do with them. I'll send them down to this one after we kick out that little Spanish thing. I'm going to be trying to fight the naval battles, but I am not the most brilliant sea commander. My endeavors are, however, much more plentiful on land. So I say, oh no, Le Havre, they cannot build it. We cannot have this. Oh. Brilliant. I think down here everything is going good. We should probably make a road, as well as in Scotland. And then we'll continue doing the roads next turn. All right, well, let's end this off here. I think this is a very good beginning for our Napoleonic Total War 3 mod as Great Britain. A wonderful little campaign. Thank you very much for watching. If you would like to leave a regimental name suggestion or a ship name suggestion in the comments, I will be sure to include them for you to see in battle. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed what you have seen, please by all means leave a like, subscribe if you would wish to do so. I very much appreciate it, and it certainly helps grow the channel and get the name out there. Also, we are continuing our 13 Colonies campaign. This does not replace anything. It is running in conjunction. So we're having fun both in America, in Empire, and in Europe, in Napoleon. And that's all I got. Ta-ta.